dabbing the brakes, balancing the car, and at about 50 metres you're already doing the turn in to clip the apex, and then you're back on the throttle, usually just before the apex, and holding the car to let it drift out wide to take the outside edge before you go flat in sixth.
Arrived at Welshpool Station. I'm going to be jumping into the Mini GP3 where the proper driving starts. It's going to be good fun, and then after that I'm jumping in the 488 Pista Piloti. Right, we're on to our first proper leg of this trip, and we're calling in his GP3. This car is, well, pretty hardcore, probably one of the hardest core versions that Mini actually make, isn't it? It's 2 litre turbocharged, over 300 brake, 450 newton meters, stripped out. So, how long have you had the car for?
About 18 months now. I've had the pleasure of owning this GP3.
Have you had a GP variant before, or is this like your first?
First GP. I had a JCW before. Hooked on that, and then decided that I would get into a GP3.
It's gone to the next. How do you find, the one thing I found is quite a firm ride, isn't it?
It is quite firm, but I mean these roads are quite nice. I mean, it's, motorway's a bit onerous, a bit noisy, but apart from that, it's great fun. It's really good fun to just open it up and just stick to the road. It does really good.
But you've had a few bits done, haven't you? Like the roof.
Yeah, I've had my roof airbrushed by a friend of mine at JSR Paint and Body, and he's a car fanatic himself, loves it, and his whole family. I've had spacers put on it, and the Remus exhaust fitted, and a panel filter, but mainly cosmetics. I've had the arches painted, so like the concept car was red, so this car's got red spats in it.
Yeah.
So that's all really.
It's only Mini heaven, isn't it? They've got more Minis than anything else.
Yeah, it's become it's sort of taken over from the VW era, where you used to have the trick Beetles.
Yeah.
Now it's all trick Minis.
Such a range of things here. Jumping out of Dave's mental casement.
Oh yeah, that is quality. That's got such a presence on the road. I think that's fantastic.
This I found the GP3 when I drove one and drove around town, the amount of people that were pointing.
Yes.
Because of that big wing and spats on the wheels, it's just different.
So it's very rare you see them on the road, so it does get people thinking about it.
Don't get many. What do they make? 500 was it or something?
Well, 3,000 worldwide made, but 575 to the UK market. Yeah.
Where that 575 came from?
I don't know. I think it went in a bit of a lottery, and it's quite ironic because when we did the stop at Telford, a chap come over to look at the car, and he said, I built this in the factory.
Really?
Yeah. I said, oh really? See, I was paint tech.
Yeah. Wow.
He said, I haven't seen one on the road. I've built them in the factory, but I haven't seen one on the road. It was the first I've seen.
You definitely don't get many of them there.
No.
Picks up nicely once you're sort of in the higher gears, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think to me it seems that the third gear is probably the most responsive element of the car, and then it picks up from there.
First to second's a bit
revvy, I think.
Yeah.
It over revs a bit.
Then after that it just picks up. I found that you'd go to pull away quickly, but then after that it just shot off like a scalded cat.
Around Branch Hatch, it was really third gear was really as far as you got. Maybe got into fourth a couple of times down the straight, but it was mainly second and third.
How was it? Was it like on track?
Very well planted. It went round the corners as if it was on rails. As it wasn't the fastest in a straight line, there was faster Porsches and stuff, but it held its own. But round the bends and on the Indy track, it was a smaller track. It was really, really good.
Wow. So thanks for letting me be a passenger for this bit. It's been fantastic. It's been an amazing weekend so far. So I'm going to be jumping in that Ferrari you see in front of me when we pull over. So this has been amazing. So that I might have to wear big boy pants to get in that one.
Yeah, motion sickness.
going to be an experience, but yeah thanks again for this.
It's all right, really good fun.
So this is a very special moment for me, very, very special car, so thank you very much for allowing me to come in here. So this is a 488 Pista Piloti, a really rare car, really difficult to get your hands on. You need to be in the Ferrari race program to get one, and Mark here, it's exactly what you do, isn't it?
It has been, yes indeed.
It's just a stunning car. I mean, like I said, my first ever Ferrari. Really, from a driving point of view, how does it compare, I suppose, to your race car? It's probably
Well, it has the same engine with slightly more brake horsepower to make up for the slightly extra weight that this car carries. This car weighs 1283 kilos. The race car is slightly lighter. She carries the same brakes as the race car. Not the same pads, not the same carbon ceramic discs.
That's the next level of fun. Is this the usual effect? Everyone starts giggling?
Yes.
I can't explain how amazing this is. I mean, hopefully it's sort of coming across on camera.
Driving a race car is not like driving a road car.
Is that mentally as well, is it?
Mentally, well, you have to react so much quicker. You're barreling down towards cops at around 160 miles an hour. You're not even thinking about braking until you've gone past the 100-metre board. Then you're dabbing the brakes, balancing the car, and at about 50 metres you're already doing the turn in to clip the apex, and then you're back on the throttle, usually just before the apex, and holding the car to let it drift out wide to take the outside edge before you go flat in sixth into maggots.
It's that gets me. It's amazing the fact you can look at your data and go, oh yeah, well, I need to be a bit quicker here, and not just remember your lines, but then you've got other cars and you need to...
A good rule of thumb is to spend twice as long on your data as you do on the track. The data is what's going to get you the time. And comparison against your pro coach, where you can see where he's on the throttle earlier than you are in the same car, in the same conditions, helps enormously.
Does it ever surprise you how much you go, hang on, how are you braking, say, 20 metres, there's no way I can do that, or is it?
Actually, in my case, it tends to be I'm braking later than they are, and so I need to brake earlier.
Yeah.
One of my bad habits is braking late, which means I'm having to scrub off a bit too much speed, not carrying as much mid-corner speed, and then can't come onto the corner, can't come out of the corner at the same pace as the pro driver. So sometimes it's brake it slightly earlier, slightly less hard, but carry a little bit more speed, and then with the turbocharged cars, as you're coming out of corners, unlike normally aspirated where we're hard on the throttle very early on, with turbo cars you want to be able to make sure that once you go on that throttle you can stay on it. The worst thing you can do in a turbocharged car is lift, even part way through the acceleration mode, because the wastegate opens and that's it, you've got to build up, spool up the turbos again. It's much better to wait and then feed the throttle in, making sure you never lift or never have to lift, so that you're able to do even short shifting and doing it in a slightly higher gear so that you can go foot to the floor and stay there is better than having to lift on the way out of a corner because you've gone for power too early. By the way, just so you know, we're not going full throttle yet.
No?
One of the things about a car like this that has the torque that this has spin the rear wheels in every gear except 7th.
Which is pointless.
Which is completely pointless.
I'm surprised how sort of balanced this car is on these roads.
No, it's amazing. The engineering in this car is unbelievable. It's as low as you can take a road car to the road without causing problems. It has amazing front end grip. I've driven race cars with less front end grip than this. This is an amazing pointy car.
And you don't have any driver aids on or anything, you've just gone off, or do you leave anything on?
Actually, if you look down at the Manatino, you'll see I have everything switched off. I don't like traction control systems, and I don't like interfering. I want to feel the car moving, sliding, whatever it's going to do, I want to feel it. We haven't been doing anything to cause the car to slide or do anything, but as you can see, I drive full traction control off at all times.
Wow, everything. Don't get many people doing that.
Because this car has a very short rack, so it's literally a turn lock to lock.
Yeah.
On either side. The inputs need to be relatively small to achieve what you normally do in a road car, where you might turn it quite a long way. As a result, there's always a risk if the traction control kicks in and you're in the middle of trying to control something, bearing in mind the car has a range of yaw control settings and traction control settings. I just find it, because of the nature of driving that I do and the training that we have had in order to allow me to do the racing that I do, I'm used to feeling the car moving and what it does.
So there we go, guys, that was the Ferrari Piloti, an amazing bit of kit, and we're at our Airbnb for the night. So I'm going to go in, I've got all of my cameras charged back up, have a bit of a chill out, and then we're going out for hopefully a nice dinner, and then tomorrow we're off to a show. So yeah, fantastic day. What a great way of spending a Saturday, my first ever road trip.